Is back from Mbombela. In this case, we're going to be talking about the ANC that says an agreement has now been reached between the party and the Liberation Struggle War veterans. But the veterans say this is not true after demonstrations outside its headquarters in Johannesburg, which led to evacuations following a reported security breach. The veterans have been raising payment issues among other matters. Our reporter Puleli Twiti-Jones is outside Luthuli House now in Johannesburg. That's the head offices of the governing party. Pule, what is the latest? What's actually been happening? Earlier, I saw Pule Mabe, the national spokesperson of the ANC, talking to my colleague Thulasizwe Simelane on all angles. Sort of, in my view, downplaying exactly what happened for the building to be evacuated last night because of the security breach. But things don't seem to be all that well at the moment in Luthuli House. Or is that being melodramatic?
Well, you know, Praten, what we're getting here is a contrast of what was said by the ANC national spokesperson, Pule Mabe. In fact, what we know is that most of the veterans, just like you've mentioned, from the Liberation War struggle movement, saying that they were actually told to come to Luthuli House in Johannesburg, the headquarters of the ANC, where they would then be housed inside and accommodated. However, when the time came for them to be evacuated due to the security breach, they refused, and there was an altercation between some of the security officials inside and some of these members from the Liberation War struggle movement. And we know that this movement comprises of other members from Azanla, the Mkhonto weSizwe veterans, and of course APLA as well. And they are quite concerned about what has been dubbed as a protest that has now stood down due to, but then I say carefully, inverted commas, negotiations that are taking place, and they're saying that's not the case. In fact, we are aware, and where we are right now, that the protests are actually still taking place right now, and until the Deputy President David Mabuza, in his capacity as the chairperson of the task team that is heading that military veterans group, then they will be able to open their hands and welcome him for them to negotiate.
Reports we would have received this morning is that the delegation of the Liberation Struggle War veterans that had marched to the Luthuli House have since voluntarily stepped down because an understanding has been established that they will meet with the Deputy President in that capacity as Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Comrade David Mabuza, because he has been charged with the responsibility of really dealing with the plight of military veterans. There's been a number of issues that they have been raising. These are not just ex-combatants of eNCA. There are also those that come from Azanla, which was a front of Azapo. There are also those that come from APLA. Yeah. So there were engagements, and those engagements were led by the head of the presidency, Comrade Sibongile Besani, with our general manager, Comrade Phoebe Potgieter. So we have been in contact to understand the situation, but we've always been having access to our offices, because when we started getting calls in the evening yesterday, there was some of the media reports were suggesting that there is a bomb scare at Luthuli House, which was quite worrying. I can tell you now that this Liberation Struggle War veterans had come to Luthuli House peacefully, with no intentions to cause harm. Their issues are well known. They have got to do with their own plight and making sure that there is a focused program in government that begins to really deal with their own situation.